Each morning we recite birchos hashachar, the 15 birchos, praising and thanking Hashem for the regular day experiences that happen before we even start davening, for being able to open up our eyes, to stand up straight, to put our shoes on, to get dressed, to put our feet on the ground, and even just to be able to wake up to a new day. And already with these 15 birchos, we're well on our way to reaching the milestone of reciting at least 100 birchos every day. If we include 15 birchos of birchos hashachar, 3 birchos of birchos haTorah, asher yatzar netilas yadayim, talis, tefillin, tzitzis, we're over 20% of the way there, and we've only just begun to daven shacharis. And immediately after we say those birchos, we include a personal prayer, a personal plea to Hashem, asking for, in general terms, a good day. To be able to cling to Hashem's mitzvos, v'dabkeinu b'mitzvosecha, to perform them properly, and also to be kept away, to be protected from evil influences. V'harchikeinu me'adam ra u'me'chaver ra, that we not have to associate, not have to engage those people who may influence us negatively. Our neighbors, our friends, our business associates, society around us, all of those things that are trying to drag us away from who we are inside, of an Eved Hashem, serving Hashem properly. And furthermore, more internally, more personally, we ask that Al Yishlot Banu Yetzer Hara, that the Yetzer Hara, our evil inclination, not be allowed to control us, not be able to run our daily lives, that we are in control of our destiny, we're in control as to whether we trip up, whether we make a mistake, whether we're tempted by the things that the Yetzer Hara puts in front of us, those tests of being able to speak negatively about others, God forbid, or being able to eat things that we shouldn't be eating, seeing things we shouldn't be seeing, etc. But further, we also say, V'chofes yitzreinu lehishtabed lach. We ask that Hashem compel our inclinations to serve Him. Rav Shimon Schwab is bothered by the terminology used, yitzreinu. How many, do we have a yetzer, one yetzer or 2 yetzeros? And so he says it's one is referring to the Yetzer Hara, one is referring to the Yetzer Tov. And in this instance, we're referring to the Yetzer Tov, the positive inclination, the counterbalance to the Yetzer Hara, our negative inclination. But if that's so then why are we asking that the Yetzer HaTov, the positive inclination, serve Hashem properly? Wouldn't we think that the Yetzer HaTov is pre-programmed to serve Hashem properly from the beginning? Rav Schwab says it's not that way. The Yetzer HaTov also can lead us astray, much like the Yetzer Hara, if we don't realize that we're bound by halacha, by Jewish law. 2 examples of where the Yetzer HaTov can draw us away. One, the sons of Aaron, Nadav and Avihu, who on the first day that the Mishkan was erected were so excited, were so passionate, they were so inspired by the Yetzer HaTov that they wanted to bring more karbanos, more offerings to Hashem. But those offerings were not biblically mandated. Hashem didn't want those offerings. It was just the Yetzer HaTov, the positive inclination, getting in the way, confusing them, and making them stumble. A second example, more relevant, more common to us, is that when a person rebukes his friend, when they're doing something that's incorrect, when they're violating or transgressing Torah law, they're fulfilling the mitzvah of hocheach tochiach asamisecha, of rebuking their friend who's committing a transgression. But how do we go about fulfilling that mitzvah? How do we rebuke our friend? Do we rebuke them? Do we humiliate them? Do we embarrass them in front of their family and friends? Or do we do it more quietly, more dignified, on the side, going over to them and telling them that what they're doing is not correct? That we spare them the humiliation in front of their family and friends. Rav Schwab says the first way of humiliating them, when the Yetzer HaTov tells us that what this person is doing is so terrible that it justifies our humiliating them and embarrassing them in public, that's the Yetzer HaTov getting in the way. Doing it quietly, behind the scenes, is the positive way of doing it, the correct way of doing it. And so explains Rav Schwab, we ask Hashem each morning for the ability to worship Hashem properly, that the Yetzer HaTov should not confuse us and lead us down the wrong path, to confuse us as the Yetzer Hara does, that instead even the Yetzer HaTov should only lead us towards the positive service of Hashem, the proper service of Hashem. That is how we begin our day. Thank you for watching.